Hello everyone and welcome back to Retro Cynical Collections. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I was only able to experience through my friends. Yes, as much as I love them, for whatever reason, my parents would never buy me a Boglin. Now in this edition of Retro Cynical Collections, I've got some ultra cool guests, and of course I'm going to share my Boglins collection. Sure, it's not as large as some of you Boglin fanatics out there, but I've got some pretty cool stuff. So, we're gonna take a look at that right after this.
Over here, I'm a Boglin. Me and my buddies need a place to hide out. Come a little closer. Oh, did I scare you? Oh, I do that so well. If you take us home, we'll kiss your Aunt Martha. We'll eat your peas. And we hope you know lots of girls. Hey, the name's Boglins. Each sold separately, and we're looking for good homes. Maybe yours?
And welcome back, y'all. Right now we're looking at item number 6653-90210. And his name is Schlump, known elsewhere as Boink. And if you call right now, he's gonna eat your peas for you. But be careful, he'll also eat your homework. He's just adorable. I can't get enough of this little fella. You don't know what you're missing out on.
I fell in love with this little guy as soon as I saw him. I just want to squeeze those cute little cheeks of his. He's just precious.
Okay, moving right along. This is item number 447007. This is Squawk, and he's a little cutie. He's just full of attitude and personality. Now, how could you not want him kissing your Aunt Martha? Just take a good look at that. He's just as purple as you'd have him be.
Well, he's got to be purple for that grimace. How cute. Bless it.
Oh, now this big fella right here is Dwarg. Now he's got some real captivating eyes. It's a lot like looking into Frank Sinatra's eyes, if you will. You're gonna fall for this hunk of Boglin right away. Oh, what's that? Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I was trying to order this guy, and the operator said he's not for sale.
Yes, that's right. None of these are for sale.
Not for sale.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it looks like we lost him.
Uh-oh.
Okay, now we're going to go ahead and move on to this next guy that comes to us from the land of the rising sun. That's right, Japan.
Konnichiwa.
This is Rasp. And he's just a cute little feller, and he's strapped tight into that little cage of his. Now, one of the best things about Rasp here is he makes this cute little sound. It's just, you just gotta hear it for yourself.
Oh, looky there.
Oh, that's just enough to melt anyone's heart.
I feel like I've got a candle in my chest right now.
Okay, now we're going to go ahead and take you over to the UK, where Boglins actually had much greater longevity commercially. This here's a box of mini Boglins. Now these guys carried on over into the 90s and were super popular. If my memory serves me correctly, they were also used as cereal premiums.
Oh, well, I know who's invited to my tea party.
Oh, we got another. Okay, go ahead, caller.
Yes, I'm very interested in getting hold of...
Whoops, looks like we lost another one. Now, one thing you're going to notice about these guys is some of their little gags they got going on. Some of them are just straight up violent, like this guy's about to shoot himself in the head. One other little Boglin item I wanted to share with you guys, but I wanted to keep separate from my vintage collection, is this little guy right here. Now this is a resin cast from a sculpt that Boglin co-creator Tim Clarke did in 2016. Now these were used for actual hand-painted limited edition Boglins, and were also created into blanks for other artists to paint. Now, I really wanted to have another Boglin collector on this video, and I didn't have to look far at all. So here's Generation Rad's very own Dan from OddPod.
Hey everybody, I'm Dan from OddPod, and this is my Boglins collection. Boglins are my favourite toy of all time for two big reasons. Number one, they first got me into puppets and puppetry, and number two, I just have so many nostalgic memories of playing with them. I remember my grandpa setting up the camera for me and me doing puppet shows from behind the chair with Boglins. I remember scaring my sister with Boglins. I've got so many nostalgic memories of playing with Boglins, whether it was the mini Boglins or the big hand puppet Boglins. So let's take a closer look at the collection. This is the Boglins collection, so we've got the main three here in their original boxes. Got some smaller ones here. This one glows in the dark, which is really cool. There's a little mate up there. And we've got the aquatic Boglins down here. These are really cool. And inside there I've put a packet of mini Boglins into. This is Slug. This is Snish, and my favourite at the bottom, we've got Slobster. You can't see him very well there, but he's very, very cool. There's a kind of a picture of him there. They're very cool. So that is my Boglins collection. I've also got acrobatic Boglins. I'll show you one of them now. They came in these little capsules, and they are sticky, gooey and disgusting little Boglins there. And yeah, they're the ones that you'll sort of like throw at windows and stuff, and they'll slime down the windows. And they're still really sticky to this day as well. I'm really surprised. I've even got a box of mini Boglins. Got some of these guys. I've got the mini Boglins swamp carry case, which is really cool. I'll open it up and show you. There you go. It's like you just build your own little Boglin swamp, but it's got little pieces there for you to make little bits with. Really cool. I also have a whole tub of these mini Boglins, but I can't get to it now because I've got too many things. Hey, can I get out of here now? Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, gee, thanks, Dan, for showing me up on my own show. Generation Rad's very own Dan from OddPod, ladies and gentlemen. So to close things out, here's something very special for you guys. You know, the Boglins toy line kind of carried its own weight. It didn't have a cartoon series or a comic book or anything like that to really push it. It thrived on its own merit. So some people may want to know where the idea for Boglins came from. So now we're going to take it on over to Boglins co-creator and current creator of modern Boglins, Mr. Tim Clarke.
Well, we were at a meeting at Seven Towns, and because of my work on Dark Crystal, and Maureen had done some special effects puppets for TV commercials, and we started playing around, you know, I mean, years ago, before that even happened, when I was working on the Dark Crystal toys, I talked to Jim Henson about creating a division at Muppets to do toy concepts. I said, you know, because Jim, the toy companies aren't doing anything new and innovative. We're doing really great innovative things. And, you know, it's like they buy the license for Muppets and they slap a sticker on something, you know, and say, oh, this is, you know, Muppet related. But I said it doesn't have the play value that the puppets we're doing have. And he said to me, Tim, it's a great idea. I just don't want to do it. He didn't want to start up a toy division. And I always say it was the best kick in the pants I ever got, because later on, I mean, after Fraggle Rock ended, Muppets didn't have a project coming up right away, so they put a lot of us on freelance staff. And I said, oh, good, now I'm going to take this time to work on toy design and development of my own products. And so I forget, you know, I mean, Dark Crystal had been out there, so I I had always wanted to do something with foam latex towards a toy, and so I started sculpting up the first Boglin, and I still have the silicone positive of that guy. That's on my Instagram too. It's Tim Clarke Toys for anybody who wants to take a look at the first Boglin. So I sculpted him up, and I made the eye mechanism so his eyes would track left and right. And I had also made a hand mechanism so he could grab things. That never got into the actual toy because it was too expensive. But it had a cable control, and it had the lever in his tail. So you could squeeze his tail and you could make him grab things. But maybe someday in the next version of Boglins. So Maureen and I both worked on prototypes. I did the big one, and then I did a small one, and Maureen sculpted a small one. Seven Towns presented it to Mattel, and they got it right away. I mean, it was an easy sale.
Now, if you want to keep up with all the stuff Tim is doing right now, be sure to go visit his website, www.totems.com. And if you want to see this full interview with Tim, head on over to the Retro Zone channel, another Generation Rad affiliate, and another Dan. There's a link in the description. Also, go check out Oddpod Dan's channel. His link will be there too. Thank you guys, once again, so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'm looking to make these a little bigger and better as they go along. So, until next time, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. That's the only way we're gonna make it. Take care, guys.